So in today's video, I'm going to be explaining Aki Hayakawa from Chainsaw Man in detail, from who he is as a character all the way down to his abilities. With Aki being my favourite character in the series, I've definitely been looking forward to making this video on him, and if this is your first time stumbling upon my channel or seeing one of my Chainsaw Man videos, I also have other explained videos on Makima and Denji for the time being that you can check out after this one, or even my introductory video that's explaining everything you need to know about Chainsaw Man in general. But who is Aki, what's his purpose, and what part does he play in the world of Chainsaw Man? Let's find out. Also, a quick disclaimer, this video will contain spoilers for the entirety of Chainsaw Man, so keep that in mind before proceeding with the video. Though I'll try not to talk about any information that doesn't strictly relate to Aki. Aki is initially introduced to us in this series as we learn of the organization known as Public Safety, which is a group made up of individuals who hunt devils, so they're devil hunters. After our main protagonist Denji is taken into Public Safety, we learn of the existence of Aki, who is Denji's superior and is part of the same special squad he's being assigned to. Now, I'd definitely be lying if I said Aki made the perfect first impression when being introduced, as the first thing he does when meeting our protagonist is beat the life out of him. But Aki is honestly one of the kindest and most human characters in the entire series. Despite his tough exterior and strictness, Aki is very aware of his own flaws and weaknesses, and in regards to his intentions, Aki has a fairly generic but sad backstory, which serves as fuel for his goal in life, which is to take down the gun devil which killed his family. And when I say Aki is literally willing to go to extremes to get his revenge, I definitely mean it. With that being said, let's start getting into Aki's abilities, and there is a huge spoiler that will come later on when I'm explaining them, so I'll be sure to let you guys know before I speak about that specific part. Aki has a total of 3 contracts, which are with the Fox Devil, the Cursed Devil, and the Future Devil. In relation to Aki's contract with the Fox Devil, it is arguably the weakest contracted devil he has, and the first one of his devils we ever get to see in action. The abilities Aki has displayed while having this contract was being able to summon the Fox Devil's head to bite down on his targets. We saw this for the first time during the brief fight with the Leech Devil, and to initiate this power, Aki uses his fingers to form a hand sign that resembles a fox's head. Oh yeah, and he also needs to say the words Kon. And although the materialization of the Fox Devil's head is the only way we've seen Aki using this contract, we learned that the contract with the Fox Devil allows devil hunters to summon different parts of his body to aid them in combat, with the summoning of the head being specially granted to those that the Fox Devil sees as attractive. And since contracts in Chainsaw Man all require a price and different requirements to use the power of devils, in Aki's case he has to offer a part of his body every single time he uses the Fox Devil in combat. And it was also revealed in the chapter extra with Aki and Himeno that sometimes Aki's payment with the Fox Devil changes, which is how we got his signature top knot hairstyle. Although this is most likely due to the Fox Devil's friendly nature towards humans, it further shows that contracts aren't necessarily fixed in the world of Chainsaw Man, but his main form of payment with the Fox Devil is still his skin. But this is definitely a small price to pay in comparison to one of the other devils Aki is contracted to. Next we have Aki's contract with the Cursed Devil, which is the devil that embodies the fear of curses. With the Cursed Devil's power, Aki has the ability to instantly kill his enemy after striking them 3 times while using the sword that the Cursed Devil gave him. Each time he strikes the person he's trying to curse, he says the word fire, immediately summoning the Cursed Devil who pushes a nail through his enemy while causing damage. The Cursed Devil Aki is contracted to also starts a countdown of how many hits are needed to activate the curse, and upon activation the Cursed Devil fully manifests, forcing the target into a crucifix position while killing them in the process. And the price that Aki pays for his contract with the Cursed Devil is definitely one of the harshest payments we see in the entire series with devils and devil hunters, as every time Aki uses the Cursed Devil's power, he has his lifespan reduced drastically. So much so that by the time of the final arc, Aki's lifespan had already been reduced to less than 2 years. But honestly speaking, such a payment for a contract that enables you to kill your opponent after landing 3 hits is fair game. Now let's talk about Aki's last contract with the Future Devil. Following the battle against Katana Man and his allies during the Katana Man arc, Aki was introduced to the Future Devil as a means to strengthen the members of the special division since they had many casualties. Aki's contract with the Future Devil grants him the ability to see into the future by a few seconds, which is very useful, but it doesn't make Aki insanely overpowered or anything, as those few seconds might not even be enough for him to react to incoming threats. However, it is definitely an ability that he makes the most of, and it has increased his usefulness in a fight. And in regards to the payment in exchange for the Future Devil's power, Aki only had to let the Future Devil live inside his right eye, which literally cost him nothing. But we learn later on that the reason for the Future Devil imposing such a meaningless payment on Aki for his powers was for self-serving reasons of amusement, since we know devils seek the downfall of humanity at all times. But with that being said, that's all for Aki's contracts and natural abilities, and this next bit I'm going to get into, as I warned you at the start of the video, is major spoilers in regards to Aki's character, so if you don't want to know the information, I'll just give you a few seconds to leave the video. Okay, so now it's time to go over Aki's abilities as the Gun Fiend. After the Gun Devil's onslaught in an attempt to take down Makima by the American president, Aki was killed in the process and his body was taken over by the Gun Devil, resulting in him becoming the Gun Fiend. Now, just like any other fiend in the series, they tend to retain some sort of memory of the host when they were alive, which is why Aki as the Gun Fiend was still able to recognize Denji when he arrived at the apartment. Though it is made very clear to us that the Gun Devil is in control, as the direction for the fight between Aki and Denji was represented through a dream sequence snowball fight, mixed with the reality of Denji fighting the Gun Fiend and protecting power and nearby civilians. But with the abilities Aki has as the Gun Fiend, he has the standard abilities associated with fiends, being the ability to regenerate through the consumption or transfusion of blood. As the Gun Fiend, Aki has a gun protruding through the middle of his head and a gun replacing his left arm, with both being surprisingly durable since they're able to block Denji's chainsaws on multiple occasions and even send him flying. Even though fiends are much weaker than their original devil forms, Aki's destructive power and speed as the Gun Fiend is made very evident by the damage he caused to the surrounding areas with his bullets. And even though he would end up being killed by Denji shortly after turning into the Gun Fiend, he was definitely one of the strongest fiends we've seen in the series to date. So after going through all of Aki's abilities and his brief period of time as the Gun Fiend, it's clear that Aki was fairly strong when he was alive, but he definitely wouldn't be in the upper echelon of characters in Chainsaw Man in terms of power or anything like that. His contracts and abilities definitely they complement each other, I must say, and again it's very sad that we won't be seeing any more of Aki in the future. He was such a likable character, and the bond that he developed with Power and Denji, resembling that of an older brother and his siblings, is something I'll definitely miss in Chainsaw Man. But with that being said, we've come to the end of the video, and I hope I managed to do a good job of explaining Aki. So if you did enjoy the video, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for the channel for more Chainsaw Man content. And be sure to comment down below who you want me to do a video on next. I'm currently working on my Power video, so whoever I do after her will probably be based on your comments on this video. And I have loads of ideas I already planned for this series on the channel that I'll be slowly releasing over the coming months. So I guess you can look forward to that outside of the individual character videos I currently do for Chainsaw Man. Also, one more thing, I'll most likely be streaming the Chainsaw Man event at Jump Festa this year on December the 18th on the channel, as long as I'm able to do so. So feel free to tune into that if you have the time. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.